Welcome to Inside Tulsa Athletics, where this is the TV show that follows the news and happenings and events of Tulsa Public Schools athletics. Today on the show, we'll have Rob Biggins, and we'll visit with Coach Biggins about the OSSA upcoming playoffs. He's the athletic director here at Webster High School. We'll visit with Conley Phipps, the boys basketball coach at Booker T. Washington High School. We'll visit with Scott Bowman, the head boys basketball coach here at Webster High School, followed up by Bobby Allison, the head boys basketball coach at Memorial High School. We'll also visit with some girls basketball coaches. Gary Pitts, the head girls basketball coach at East Central. Rabu Leyva, the head girls basketball coach at Booker T. Washington High School. And Carlin Adkism of the Will Rogers High School girls basketball team. All this and more on Inside Tulsa Athletics. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and joining us is Rob Biggins, the athletic director at Webster High School. And Rob, it's that time of year where Tulsa Public Schools and the taxpayers of Tulsa County are going to get their money's worth out of us, because we're going to spend a lot of time hosting basketball tournaments for the OSSA.
Absolutely. The good thing about Webster High School, our Bill Allen Fieldhouse, holds about 2,000 people. So we're the biggest stadium or indoor facility that we have in Tulsa Public Schools. And so we like to show that off. We have a beautiful campus, probably the best looking campus overall in all of Tulsa Public Schools and surrounding area. And it's a great time for the people who have put time and effort and money and voting on bond issues. Let them know that this is the beautiful things that we have right here. This is where your money went. So when we begin to find out that we're going to do a 4A regional or a 4A area, we're pretty lucky this year that we've got some local teams. So when we get local teams, we can look forward to having a big crowd. When we get a big crowd, that means we sell lots of nachos, lots of popcorn, lots of those items. And that's how we as a school, as an athletic department, can make some money. And of course, the gate all goes back to the OSSAA so that they can continue to have all of our state championships, and we can find out who is the best of the best. Probably going to be Webster this year, but we'll find out. We're going to take our time and get there. As I was saying, we got teams like Coweta, Holland Hall, Locust Grove, several others just that are going to be here. We've got 10 games, 5 different sessions. We have to clear out in between each session. So there's going to be a lot that's going to happen just in these 3 days. We got to start at 1:30 on a Thursday. Got a game at 1:30, a game at 3 o'clock, a game at 6:30, a game at 8 o'clock, and that's just for one day. We do that Thursday, Friday, and then Saturdays we're going to come down to the finals, and the finals are going to be at 6:30 and 8 o'clock, boys and girls, for the area championships.
Well, Rob, I tell you, it's been nice, but the OSSA has really recognized us for our facilities and our ability to host successful events like you have in the past, and we've just continued to gain their trust and their confidence. And it's nice to know that when they need an event hosted and they want it hosted in the right way, that we've got people like yourself, other athletic directors, Mark Dover at Memorial, Crystal Marquardt at Rogers, all those sites that have hosted different playoff events this year and the last several years, that we've got good, adequate facilities, nice facilities, probably above adequate, really, in my opinion, with our new gyms and things. And now we're building a new gym at McLean and getting ready to start one down the road at East Central, that we're going to continue to be able to host quality events for the OSSA. And so speak to us about the pride that we take in the district and be able to do those events for them.
Well, it is exciting, and it really does come down to having the right people in the right place. But beyond that, it comes down to having the facilities. We've got to have good, clean facilities. We've got to have state-of-the-art facilities, because if anything can go wrong, it's going to go wrong when we're getting to this level. And we've got to make sure that we have everything in place, ducks in a row, and we've got to be able to have 4 teams in at one time, because if you're starting at 3:30 with one game, those 2 teams have to have facilities, and then the team that's coming in, they're not going to wait until game time to come in. They're going to come in, they've got to get their locker rooms in order, and we got to have a hospitality room. I mean, every coach out there knows you don't go anywhere where there's not a good hospitality room.
Amen.
Well, we've been there a couple of times ourselves and
Yes, we
have
have.
enjoyed it. I mean, I'd like to tell you, it wasn't a Tulsa public school, but my favorite all-time hospitality room was over at Bishop Kelly. They're so centrally located right there. We had Ricardo's. We had well, they're not sponsoring us, but it was delicious. So we aspire to have everything that everybody's going to need and have it on the go. And then we try to think ahead of time. What could go wrong that we could possibly need to make happen? And so as the administrator here, the athletic director on duty that evening, that's really one of those things that I really try to think 1 or 2 games ahead.
Well, Rob, I think we also have good facilities folks such as Sue Ann Bell, Jason Cohen, Jay Oates. We've got some people that really support our athletic endeavors. And we start on this. People don't realize we start to plan to host these things a couple of months in advance so that we've got things fixed. We got fresh paint. We got new ceiling tiles. We got lights replaced. All the things that goes into putting on a successful tournament. Like you said, you don't want to have something go wrong at the last minute. Even as much as making sure our scoreboards are operating and our Wi-Fi is ready for the media and those kind of things so that we can move forward with a successful tournament.
A lot of people don't recognize or even realize that there is the minutia that goes into putting on these events. I mean, obviously we've got some of the best basketball teams that are coming to our facility, and people come in, they watch that, they enjoy it. Even if their team loses, we want them to have a good time. But beyond that, we've got to have a ticket seller, a ticket taker. We've got to have somebody at the back door making sure people aren't coming in. All of those things that come together throughout those months of preparation. Because we have such a big facility here at the Bill Allen Fieldhouse, we kind of feel that we're going to have some sort of regional or area, or sometimes both. I think last year we had a 5A girls state playoff here. So we kind of say, you know what, Webster has these facilities, we do a good job, so we want to make sure that we're already ready to go. And I think when we can think that way, I think that goes over to the OSSAA, and the OSSAA says, yeah, we can count on these guys because they're going to have a ticket taker, ticket seller. We've probably got 15 or 16 employees that are just there just for those games.
Well, I think it's part of planning. It's part of putting on a good event. You know, one thing, people take all these things for granted, but it's a lot of work. And it's a lot of work because you want to put your best foot forward. And like we say so many times, athletics in a lot of ways is the front porch to your school. And sometimes these people are only going to set foot in Bill Allen Fieldhouse one time on the Webster campus, and they're going to go away with an impression of either that was a positive experience and the place was clean and it was organized and I felt secure, or they're going to leave thinking that that's all a bad experience, and that's what they think of Webster High School or Rogers or Memorial. And we don't want to do that. We want to put our best foot forward. We want to make sure our fans have a positive experience, and we really want to make sure that it's a fan-friendly environment at the end of the day, that they can have a good experience. And all the while, we have to be mindful of following the OSSA protocol.
Well, that's the main thing. We've got to make sure that we absolutely 100% are making sure that everything is fair and square for every team. We don't have a dog in the hunt here at Webster. We're going to be in Midwest City participating. So we don't have a dog in the hunt. Our dog this time is going to be that we're going to make sure that everything is fair. If it's going to be the same for this team, it has to be exactly the same for that team. Right down to the locker rooms have got to be the same. So we try to make sure that everybody comes in, everybody's comfortable, they're greeted at the door, they know where the hospitality room is, they know where the ice is, they know where the training room is. So keeping everything at the level that the OSSAA expects from us is probably the first thing that we have to think about, but it's really the last thing I think that the fans are going to think about. They're going to think about, did we win, did we lose, was the referee fair? You know, is the referee trying to screw us out of this game and out of these points? And really, before we even get there, a lot of work has gone in to making sure that everything is fair, everything is up to the level that we want everybody to walk away and go, you know, I had no idea that Daniel Webster was this beautiful of campus. I had no idea that everybody was so friendly. I had no idea all the great things that are going on at Daniel Webster High School, and there are. And this is really the big stage for us to say, hey, everybody that comes in from around here, there's going to be 10 teams, check us out.
Rob, and that's probably something that we lose sight of sometimes. This is a special moment for these kids to earn, to get to go to area, to get to, when we host first-round state tournament games, it's a special moment for these kids. It's memories that they're never going to forget because they've advanced this far in their particular sport, in this case basketball, of being able to advance and remember and go back, and some of them will go on to the state tournament or play their first round of the state tournament and go home, or advance on to the state semifinals. And so you want to make this a positive experience. I look at the same thing when we do the tournament of champions. I want to make sure that first and foremost is that the kids and the coaches have a really good time, have a positive experience, and have everything they need to be successful while they're here as our guest.
Well, I made the mistake my first year as high school athletic director of presenting the plaque to the champions of the 5A that year and of the area, because and it was the girls, and as soon as I walked out there with it and Ricky announced them, here they all come, because they were excited. They had a great experience and they won, and it was a great game. So now I try to find their athletic director, and I get his name, and then I give him the plaque, and I let him go out, or her, if the case is, and let that person then present the plaque and let them get ran over. And it's more exciting for them to get run over than it is for me.
It's probably exciting for you to watch him get ran over.
Absolutely.
Instead of you being in that place. So I'm sure the visiting athletic directors will appreciate that advice from you, Coach Biggins. No, as we wrap up here, it's really a special time. We really appreciate the people in Tulsa that support our athletic endeavors and support our facilities and step forward with great things are happening in the district. And like I said, this year you're hosting area. Memorial High School is going to host a 6A girls first round state tournament. So wow. Coach Dover will have his hands full with dealing with some of the things we've talked about. And really it'll be a great time for us to showcase our facilities, showcase what our kids get to experience, and really showcase a lot of good quality individuals and people that work for the district, such as yourself.
That's what it's going to be. We're excited. I know every year that we get to do this, it's a lot of work, and I'm wore out when it's over, but I'm excited to do it, and I can't wait.
Well, Rob Biggins, we appreciate you being on today, and thank you for joining us on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back on Inside Tulsa Athletics with Conley Phipps, head boys basketball coach at Booker T. Washington High School.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy, and every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we are joined by Conley Phipps, the head boys basketball coach at Booker T. Washington High School. And Conley, it's been a good year. Congratulations on your recent regional championship. And as you and I talked on the phone the other day before you played, it's time for the Hornets to get it on a third time as a charm.
Yeah, hopefully we can get back to that championship game and have a little different result this year.
Well, we sure enjoyed watching your guys play this year, and I know that your son and Bryce and Seth and some of the other kids are really playing well right now. What do you feel like has been really the key to your success here lately?
Well, I think since, Edmond Santa Fe beat us in the championship game of the Jinx Union tournament, I think we've put a new emphasis on getting the ball inside. Seth Hurd has been playing unbelievable. Jalen Brath, 6'8" junior, our other post player, been really, really good. Both those guys have been unbelievable here down the stretch last 8 or 9 games.
Well, I really think watching Seth play, he's really kind of been your glue guy. I know he's a senior. He's a 4-year starter. He's been through the wars. And I thought really in both championship runs these last 2 years watching him, he has really played well and understands the game. And I'm sure it makes things a lot easier on you at times.
Well, the thing that's great about, there's lots of things that are great about Seth, but he's a great teammate. He's a great leader. And as skilled as he is, he is a glue guy, and our guys like being out there on the floor with him. So, he's providing a lot of things that we need this time of year to make a run at the gold ball.
Do you feel like you guys are probably playing as good as you can play right now, or do you think you can take it even another level here as you make that push?
Well, I think like I said, I think we've gotten better since the middle of January. But I think that the hope is you're playing your absolute best here. These last 2 weekends of the season, and I do believe there are some things that we can get better at. We can still take better shots at times and get the ball inside more, and we still probably make too many mistakes defensively, that come back and bite us in games sometimes. But we're playing at a high level right now. Hopefully we'll play our best here these last 2 weekends.
Well, as the win and end game, I see that we're going to play the Jinx Trojans, led by TPS Hall of Famer Clay Martin. So what are we looking for in that game, Conley?
Well, Jinx is a really, really good team. Clay's an outstanding coach, and he'll have them very prepared. They start 4 seniors. They're tough. They're physical. They defend. They rebound. They execute on offense. So it's going to be 2 really good teams out there playing to go to the state tournament Friday night.
Of course, early in the year, and it doesn't mean anything now, but you did beat them by 12 points early in the year at home. Anything you can take away from that game as you look forward to this one?
Well, we've watched that film and talked about some things as a coaching staff, and in reality, it wasn't a 12-point game. It was much closer. How that happens sometimes in basketball when you shoot free throws late, and so the game is much closer than that. But hopefully we'll see a few things on film that'll help us. I think we're better than we were then, and I'm sure Jinx is better than they were then as well. So, we're looking forward to it.
Looking ahead and not trying to get too far ahead, but you think coming out of the West, who do you see being maybe one of the top 2 or 3 teams coming out of the West that's going to present a real challenge?
Well, I think, that Edmond Memorial has a fantastic team. A lot of toughness, a lot of experience. I think Midwest City is a team that's really playing well right now. They're undersized. They can really shoot it. They pressure for 32 minutes. I know Santa Fe got upset in their regional, but you can't count them out. So I think you take 3 or 4 teams from the West, and there's probably 3 or 4 teams from the East that could all end up with a gold ball here in a couple of weeks.
I always feel like because we have the 5A, 6A on our side, we don't have to travel. Kids can sleep in their own beds, not go far from home. How much do you feel like that's an advantage, being able to play here at the Mabee Center and really playing in the Tournament Champions at the Mabee Center? How does that help you?
Well, I think number one, that playing in the Mabee Center state tournament, it's familiar to us, and I think it does help it. There's no doubt about it. These guys have played in the state tournament last year. They played in 6 tournament champion games in the Mabee Center. I think that is an advantage, versus those teams that haven't. And I believe that having it here and sleeping in our own beds and not having to travel and do some things like that, I think that's an advantage as well.
Staying in that routine, to me, late in the year and tournament time is always a really big deal. You agree?
I agree. We do things, probably the guys would say, very mundane. We do a lot of the same things every day. I'm a routine guy, and a lot of the same drills and practices run the same every day, and that's something that I believe in, routine.
Well, Conley, I want to wish you luck. I want to wish you the best of luck you can possibly have. I hope that this year, as you and I have talked about, the 3rd time's a charm, going back to Coach Redmond and yourself last year, and this year those kids are due, and they've been right there in the hunt. And any last words you want to give us before we?
No, I appreciate it. Good to see you, Mick.
We appreciate having you on the show. We'll be right back on Inside Tulsa Athletics with Scott Bowman, the head boys basketball coach at Webster High School.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Hi, I'm Jason Parker, Athletic Director for Sapulpa Public Schools. The first annual Oklahoma Athletic Directors Conference is a must-attend event for every Oklahoma high school athletic director. Join us June 10th and 11th at the Cox Convention Center in beautiful downtown OKC. The two-day conference will feature breakout sessions covering law, staff development, fundraising, social media, and many other areas that are sure to improve your effectiveness as a key administrator in your district. The OADC will also be a great place to network with key people in our industry and get in the know regarding the latest issues and trends involving Oklahoma education-based athletics programs. Conference registration is now available at oklahomaoiAAA.com, and you can also visit oklahomaoiAAA.com for hotel information and more details about the conference. As a bonus, the first 50 registrants will receive free admission to the Oklahoma City Dodgers game the night of June 10th. So don't wait, make your reservation today, and take your game to the next level as an Oklahoma AD.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we are with Scott Bowman, the head boys basketball coach at Webster High School. And Scott, congratulations on a big win Saturday night, coming back through the losers bracket and getting the Consolation Regional Championship and moving ahead to area, which is the next big step before getting back to the state tournament, which the Webster Warriors did last year. So congratulations.
Right, yeah, we're going to try to go for 2 in a row. A little tougher this year. Last year we went through the winner's side, and we've done it before. In 13 we went through state all through the losers bracket. So, 3 big games this week. We're going to prepare for that Thursday one and have some backup plans for Friday, Saturday. Their teams, we're in that other area that we're not familiar with. They sent us to the other side of state, so we're in the Midwest city is where our games are at. So that's probably to our benefit because they don't know much. I think they take us for granted a lot, going over there thinking, well, look at our record. They're 12-12, so we kind of slipped up on some teams I think that didn't prepare for us like they should have. But this late in the playoffs, every team is good, so it just gets better each night with who you're playing.
Well, Scott, you can blame some of that on me. I think Dave, poor Mr. Glover's probably tired of getting emails from me about 4A basketball in Tulsa Public, but it has been good that we've been able to separate some of our schools and give everybody an opportunity to get to the state tournament, and we've really benefited in the last few years from that. So hopefully we'll be able to continue. But sure, proud of the success you guys have had this year, and want to wish you luck. What's it look like moving forward to this week?
We got Plainview on Thursday. I've been watching some film on them. They're shooting team. I think they're going to live and die by the 3. They got one kid that's really good. Not sure his name. He's number 23, but we'll try to key on him some. We just this time of year we just do what we do basically, offensively and defensively, and try to hope they adjust more than we have to adjust. Get by that game, it'll be Tuttle probably. Looking ahead, we played them in the regional first round and just shot bad to start. Lost to them by 3. Had a shot at the buzzer to tie it and just fell short. So. If we can play a little bit better and get that win, we'll be there Saturday playing that consolation final again to go to state. So we're going to take them one step at a time, focus on Plainview.
Well, that's all you can do. And obviously your experience last year, you guys made a deep run into the Final Four last year with a team. Maybe your style of play was a little bit different when it was around David Ward. And now you're kind of your firepower, obviously, is your guard play. Talk to us about some of the adjustments you made and the experience these kids had to be able to draw off of from last year.
Right. We run a lot more of outside stuff and high picks and stuff to keep the ball on the perimeter and shoot and open up the space for little guards to drive to the rim. Well, last, we just want to try to get the ball David inside, so we're a little more balanced. It's probably tougher for teams to scout and guard us because, we'll have, I think the night against Tuttle, we had 15, 14, 14, 12. They're all shooting and scoring. So, it's not, Pritchard's a very good player. He had 36 on Saturday, which was a good night for him, playing 3 quarters. But when he's hot, he's deadly. But when he's not, it's fine because we got Martwan Taylor, we got Kevin Lavelle. Jeremiah Barnes has really been picking it up in the playoffs. We got shooters out there, so we're going to be playing against a shooting team. It might be a shootout Thursday.
Yeah, people that have not seen you play, you guys are an exciting team, and you do have some really outstanding guard play. And you're right, the young man Pritchard is a really special player. People need to get out and see him. Tell us a little bit about what he brings to your team.
Well, I'll tell you this. I haven't watched it back on film, but in that Tuttle game, he went down the middle on the 6'6", about 250, and 6'5", 215, and I don't know how he missed the dunk. But he jumped over both them guys, and the crowd just went nuts even though he missed it because he was so high on the dunk. He's more athletic than people think. His defense is good. He's the hardest working kid. One of them I've had. He gives it all every game. He's working on his pull-up jumpers, which is pretty good. I think he settles too much with floaters. Floaters are good, but I'd like him to do some more pull-up jumpers when he's still shooting floaters. But he's got everything to his game. And as he grows and gets bigger, he's just a sophomore. We got 3 starters that are sophomores this year and a junior and a senior. So we're going to look all right coming back next year.
Well, we're excited to see the development, but more recent, we're excited to see this to see this run. Looking ahead a little bit as you get past this or get into this next game, people coming from the west side. I know we were talking off the air a little bit about what we've seen, and we had Kingfisher at the tournament champions, and we know Heritage Hall.
Right.
Those are some real formidable opponents. So talk to us a little bit about what you know on some west side schools.
Well, I mean, for the West Side schools, it's Kingfisher and Heritage Hall. I mean, these other schools we're playing, they're good, and they're probably just balanced with the West Side and the East Side with us over here on the East Side. But, I mean, Heritage Hall, you know, they're in our area, and I'm pretty sure they're going to just win that area championship game. So we won't have to see them unless it's in the state finals, because we get through that Saturday game, we're unranked, which the last 2 times we went to state, we've been unranked. That shows you something, too, about the unjust of the ranking system from that side. And I like going over there because that kind of shows a point to guys. We're 12-12, but we're beating all your teams. You guys are ranking ahead of us, you know, because they just look at our schedule. But the West Side has 2 big schools, and other than that, we're just as good as any school over there. And on any night, anyone can beat, you know. If we come through that, we'll be playing Kingfisher first night of the state tournament. And we played them last year in the semifinals, and just, you know, they're good. We didn't play very good. I'm not saying we could have beat them, but we would have been there, I think, if we'd have just made some shots and not probably been so shy. It was a pretty big crowd in that fairgrounds, and, you know, so.
Well, Scott, it reminds me a little bit of back when I was still coaching, and I was used to have some knockdown dragouts with Luther Pegues at McLean. There were so many years that McLean would get to the state tournament and have a 500 record because of the opponents, the Green Country Conference schedule.
Right.
Talk to us about how much that's really is important to you, and really the success of our boys teams. We still have 10 going into the second to the last week. We still have 10 boys teams playing.
I mean, that's phenomenal. That's the competition. And I try to explain, and even when other coaches talk to me, you know, and they say that, you know, man, we rank you every time. I don't know why the others don't. But every night, we can't take a night off and go, oh, all we got to do is step on the court and we're going to win this game. Our last place team can beat our first place team in the conference about every year. And these other teams that go in there with those easy schedules and, you know, a little weaker conferences playing 3A and 2A schools, they're not battle tested. They just go in there and probably 7 to 10 of their games, they're just walk on the court and they're going to beat those games. We have to go every night, which is what prepares for the playoffs, because you got to go, you know, 3 games straight on regionals, 3 games straight on area, and those teams play 2 tough games. They're like, man, we haven't had to play 3 in a row before, and knock them off on Saturday.
Yeah, so again, and I take that back, 7 boys teams we still
7.
have alive and 3 girls. I was thinking 10 overall, but we're right there again. Well, Scott, we want to wish you luck on the playoffs. We're excited to see another serious run for the Webster Warriors, and we really appreciate your hard work and your effort and all the success you've had at Webster High School. So once again, thanks for being on the show today.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks to Scott Bowman for being on today's show, and we'll be right back with Bobby Allison at Memorial High School right here on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy, and every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we are joined by Bobby Allison, the head boys basketball coach at Memorial High School. And Bobby, it's that time of year that the great Memorial tradition starts to really shine through. I think your kids know what to expect and know what's about to happen. So welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mick. Appreciate you being here. It is a fun time of year. It's our goal every year to get to the state tournament. A lot of people talk about winning it. We do not. We don't mention that until you get there. And our big goal every year is to play your last game in the state tournament. And we're one win away from hopefully earning our right to do that. And we've had a great year so far. A lot of games have gotten us ready for this time of year, but we're ready to capitalize on this opportunity.
You know, Bobby, a lot of people see just the recent success of Memorial High School, but can you talk to us a little bit about how much your tradition plays a part in the kids' lives today, and from your alumni and your fans? Can you talk to us about your tradition?
No, you're exactly right, Mick. The kids see it when they walk in the gym. They see the listings of all the years that have gone to the state tournament is, displayed right there on our home side. They see the All-Staters, and you get All-State in the playoffs. That's when you really earn it. In our locker room, there's pictures of every team. If you go to the state tournament, your team picture is on the wall in the locker room. If you don't go to state, it's not. That simple. And that tradition, I tell the kids, that's not weight. That you shouldn't play with weight because of that tradition and pressure. That should be wind at your back. It's giving you motivation. That's kind of added fuel that, you know, if we do things right here, that's what we go to the state tournament. But we have to control that. It gives us extra motivation. It gives us extra encouragement. And like you said, with the alumni, we got great fan support at some of these big-time games, and a lot of good text messages and former players texting current players, telling them, you know, to really value the moment, play their games. So you're exactly right. It is a, you know, once you start the game at 0-0, like getting ready for the game, I mean, it adds, you know, that pride and that tradition adds 20 to 30 points just in a let's do it aspect.
Talk a little bit about, congratulations, by the
Thank
way,
you.
on
Thank
your
you.
regional championship Saturday night. And, of course, a victory over one of our fellow schools,
Right.
our other schools, Will Rogers, and their program's really up and coming.
No doubt.
And Coach Winton's doing a great job there. But congratulations on that win.
Mm-hmm.
Talk a little bit about that game, and then let's talk about, as we move ahead, to what I consider kind of our modern-day rival at
Yeah.
Memorial with Carl Albert.
Right, no, definitely. With our regional, we took care of Glenpool first round, and Rogers dominated Tahlequah start to finish. It was really neat to see our conference, East Central, come as a 12 seed, beat the 5 seed prior, Edison win their game. I mean, our whole conference with Webster and Central still in area. Everybody in our conference, except for one team, is still playing. And so it was really, we knew we were going to play Rogers. We had a feeling that their kids were going to be ready for Tahlequah. It was a great game. They gave us everything we wanted in the first half. We were only up 1 at halftime. We D'd up. We didn't let our offense dictate our defense. We got stopped, and then we just, you know, eventually just got enough rebounds and didn't turn it over in the second half to get the win. But when it comes to this weekend, Carl Albert, when we were in 6A at Memorial, I was talking to somebody. When we were at 6A at Memorial, there's always you got your East Side teams always. Like in 5A, you know, we got Edison over here, Booker T when they're in 5A, or when we were in 6A, it was Union and Jinx, and different teams you're kind of looking at marrying your team up against on the East. And then on the West, when we were in 6A, it was Putnam City and Midwest City. Well, now that we're in 5A, it's always been Carl Albert. Like you said, kind of a modern rival. Got nothing but respect for their athletic program as a whole. Coach Price does an amazing job. But between Carl Albert, El Reno, Lott Knight, and Del City, and Northwest Class, and those are kind of, you know, you're going to have to go through them if you want to be in the state tournament and win in the state tournament. And, you know, just a little bit on Carl Albert, they always got good players on the court, 5 great athletes at all times, real competitive kids. They win in every sport. So these kids are used to scoring more than the other team, whatever the sport may be. So we're really excited to play against them, but we know that it's going to take a great week of practice to beat them in a 32-minute game.
Talking about knowing what it takes to win, Bobby, and you touched on this a little bit with our conference.
You're right.
The success we're having at the 5A level with several teams in.
Right.
Well, then you look down at 4A, and Webster and Central are playing into the final week before the state tournament. Our conference, it just prepares you so much.
It does.
What are your thoughts on that?
Now, it does, because we got kids that really love basketball. They really love to play the game of basketball, and we got coaches that really love the game, and they love to compete. They care about the kids, and the kids get better throughout the season because of our schedule. I mean, and it's just a credit to the kids being competitive and going and making plays. That's something that our kids in our conference don't get enough credit for. You know, you can draw a play all you want, and you got to execute in the playoffs. But at the end of the day, some of these kids, it's playoffs, not coach-offs. And I've said that for 3 or 4 years. And our players in our conference don't make plays. And hopefully they can continue to do that this week. And, you know, it's just a credit to kids that love the game of basketball.
No question. Well, Bobby, we really want to wish you luck as
Thank
you
you,
move
Mick.
forward. We want to see you back in there again and
Definitely.
keep that streak of state championships and state finals appearances alive.
Yep.
I know that our Memorial Chargers are in good hands when you're in control.
I appreciate
And we
that.
really want to wish you and the kids good luck and keep moving forward.
Definitely. Thank you, Mick. Thanks for having me.
Thanks to Bobby for being on the show today. And as we look ahead in the next segment, we'll have Gary Pitts, the East Central High School girls basketball coach. Stay tuned on Inside Tulsa Athletics.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to tulsarefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. tulsarefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education? What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts.
Yes, you.
You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we're with Gary Pitts, the head girls basketball coach at East Central High School. And the Cardinal girls basketball tradition continues to move on, and we're looking forward to some big things this week, Gary.
Yes, we go down to Owasso. We play McAllister and Owasso at 8 o'clock, and hopefully we can turn this thing around and get to the state tournament.
Well, Gary, you guys, I know, have had a little bit of an up and down season, but I tell you what, you've done a fantastic job your first year. We're really excited and proud of you. You're in a good position to move forward. Talk to us about this past weekend and kind of what you went through to get yourself to this point to be ready to play yourself into the state tournament.
I'll tell you what, we started out playing Bishop Kelly. That was our third time playing them. So, it's hard to beat the team 3 times. But we managed to get through that game and play Coweta in the finals in the championship and jumped to a 10-point lead, actually. And, some things didn't go our way. Then, and we kind of imploded with inside and let them come back and take the lead, and we didn't figure out a way to come back and win it. But I'm looking forward to playing this week.
So talk to us a little bit about your opponent this week. Looking at the Coweta Tigers, correct? And really, they've really been hot the last couple of years. They got a good group of girls. In fact, they're going to come to the tournament champions next year. So can you talk to us a little bit about looking forward to them and what you're going to have to do well to come out on top?
Actually, we did play Coweta. We lost to Coweta. We played McAllister now, and McAllister's they're pretty good. They're a young team. He's guard heavy. He has one girl that's about 6'3", 6'4". They like to throw the ball inside to her, to create an inside out and shoot the 3-pointers. They run a 3-2 zone, so we have to be prepared for that. But they're a well-coached team. They got a coach there. I believe it's his second year there, and he's come back home to coach there, and they're behind him, and they have a really good team.
Where do you feel like you're at, Gary, now with trying to play well at the right time? You've come through the tournament champions. You've played a tough conference schedule. Where do you feel like you're at with the girls right now? Or you guys feel like you're really playing your best basketball? Or you still feel like you've got a little bit more room to get a little better?
Yeah, we got a little bit more room to get better. Shay, our post player, she's been back probably 3 or 4 games, so she's trying to find herself and still going over little injuries on her leg a little bit. But as far as defensively, I think we're there. I think offensively, teams have made some adjustments to us and kind of sitting back in the zone a little bit, and it's caused us some problems. So we have to, the next 3 days, we have to figure out a way to try to score within other team's zone on us.
Watching you guys play this year, I've really enjoyed it. And I always enjoy watching this year your guard play. I think your guard play is probably one of your strengths. You talk about getting Shay back, and that's huge. I think she brings a different dynamic to your team just with her size and her athleticism and the rebounding and things that she can do and take up a lot of space, things like that. But I tell you what, I really think watching you guys, that your success this year has been a big part of your guard play.
Yeah, T.T. Mitchell, and we have a freshman there, Journey Armstead. She's really done a great job of being a ninth grader, leading the team. We have the ball in our hands a lot to create for others. But you're right, the guard play as far as pressure on the other team's guards, they put great pressure on the guards. And those two have really done a job, like a 1-2 punch there to help us out.
Yeah, the young lady Mitchell, I enjoy watching her play. She loves to play the game. She plays the game the right way. She gives you everything she got. And I don't know, has anybody told her she's only about 5'3"?
No, nobody's told her that.
She doesn't know that, does she, Gary?
And that's pushing it. She's a great shooter. She's a competitor. She's sometimes I have to play her the whole game, and she gets out there and she never really shows me that she gets tired. And so I love her energy, and she shows the energy to the other teammates, see her energy, and they pick up from there and go from there.
I notice she's not real vocal, but I think she really leads by example. You can tell that the girls really look to her with her. She's always level. She doesn't get too high, too low, and she's just a good, solid, quiet leader, and I'm sure she's that same way that she approaches her day-to-day work and practice.
She does. She works hard, and she does the same thing with her schoolwork as well. She's a straight A student, and she has good parents, and then they taught her the right way, and she plays very hard the whole game.
Gary, looking back now, and I know you were a longtime assistant and moved up to the #1 chair. What do you think some of the things this year that have really been eye-opening to you through this whole experience?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're in the first chair, in the front chair, you should say, it's a lot of managing. You have to manage the personalities and attitudes and, practice times and making sure everybody's well fed. And so it's a little deal. When you're the assistant coach, you can kind of sit back and do whatever it is needed for you to be done. And so it is a big difference.
Well, we appreciate the job you've done. Talk about a few of the highs or the lows this year that you feel like you've experienced, maybe more of the highs, because there's been a lot of good things I think you've done, some enjoyable moments for you.
Well, I enjoy being around the girls. I've been coaching basketball a long time, and for the 9 years I was with Coach Mack. But the highs, the lows, we went to a tournament champion in Arkansas, and we started out 1-4 during the season. And, you have a lot of grumbling when you start out, especially at East Central. A lot of people were like, well, we're not going to be that good, but it was just the competition we were playing. We played some stiff competition. The highs are coming up playing in the Tournament of Champions. It was a great tournament for us. Even though we went 1-2 in that tournament, I thought we learned a lot, and we found out how good we really were. And then during the season, we lost to Rogers. It was the only game we lost to in the conference. So we've had some good things, winning 11 out of the last 12.
Well, the great job that you've done, and now Carlin's really bringing the Will Rogers program along, starting to develop a little healthy rivalry with Rogers. Yes. That's exciting to see because it reminds you of some of the rivalries we have within our boys basketball conference. We're starting to see that with you, but just the kids seems like they've really stepped up to the challenge this year with a new coach and a new season and some new expectations.
No doubt. We do a little bit more man-to-man. We don't do as much zone as we did in the past, so that's helping the girls. And you kind of help the girls and you try to prepare them for the next level too. You want them to learn how to play man. And yes, Carlin's done a great job over there. He's a good coach. I've been knowing him a long time since he was a young man playing at Booker T. So we look forward to playing them whenever we get a chance to.
Well, Gary, we want to wish you luck and thank you for being on the show. We really would like to see the Cardinals continue to march and keep this tradition of success alive and get back to the state tournament. But we appreciate you being on the show today, Gary.
We'll be there. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Gary. Please stay tuned with Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we'll be right back with Coach Rabu Leyva of Booker T. Washington High School.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy, and every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we're with Rabu Leyva. Rabu, the head girls basketball coach at Booker T. Washington High School. And congratulations on a great weekend, a regional championship. Really looking at it on paper, probably two of the most impressive wins I've seen in quite a while around here, Rabu. I mean, you come off beating a really, really good team with Sapulpa, and Darlene Caleb does such a fantastic job.
Yes.
Great win there because their tradition's really, really good. And then, boy, you really come out, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Shawnee, you ranked number 2 in the state.
Number 2 in the state, yes.
You beat the number 2 team in the state. So congratulations on a really hard-fought, well-deserved regional championship.
Well, thank you. It was just a testament to what the work the girls put in all year long. People are like, well, Coach, how did you do it? I said, I didn't. The girls bought into the system. They sacrificed for each other. And we have different people making different plays every night.
So coming up now, we're trying to take one game at a time, get to that state tournament.
Yes.
And eventually get to a state championship. Who do we have next, and what do you really feel like the scouting report is on your opponent?
Well, up next we have Union, and very familiar with Joe Redmond, former Booker T. boys basketball coach. He does a great job. His kids are going to work hard. They're going to play solid defense. He's going to try to wear you down. And, we're going to do what we do. We're going to pick up full court. We're going to defend real hard, try to turn them over, and keep the ball away from their big girl. Going to Arkansas, Fort Smith, Arkansas, I believe. Great player down low. We want to just limit her touches and get up and down the court.
Yeah, Joe's going to slow it down and grind it on you a little
Yes,
bit,
he
and you're
is.
going to have to be able to really guard for the entire possession. But what do you feel like are some of the things that you guys are doing real well right now that's going to really get you going in the right direction, maybe to propel you into a Final Four or to the championship game?
Yeah, no doubt. I think one thing that we do well, and we try to start in the summertime, is we're going to play you full court for the entire game because we go 8, 9, 10 deep. And so what it does is, are your players in that kind of condition to handle the ball? Because you can't replicate that in practice unless you're doing it every day like we do it. So, you never know who our leading scorer is going to be. Against Shawnee, it was a freshman, Kerrigan Hill. She makes the game-winning shot. The night before that, it was Yvette Mayberry, talented player with great history here in Booker T. Brianne Bolton's been our leading scorer. So for us, you never know who the big play is going to come from. So, and our team's really bought into that and saying, hey, I'll sacrifice if it means we can win. And so the team has really been about we sharing the ball real well and really passing up a good shot for a great shot. They've done that real well the past 2 or 3 games.
Well said on that. I agree with that completely. I tell you what's been exciting for me to sit back and watch some of these girls, with a lot of them coming from Carver and seeing them since they were in 6th grade and how they've matured and grown and become better players. And then you add Miss Mayberry bring her to the fold, and really where you're at right now, I just feel like you got a lot of firepower.
Yes, oh no doubt. It's but kids have got to buy into that because what I tell them is, your parents come to watch you play, and they should. That's great. And they're saying, shoot it, baby, shoot it, you can do it, which is nothing wrong with that. I love, my parents' support has been phenomenal, but the girls have got to buy into sometime hearing that from the stands, and they could shoot it to be an okay shot, but saying, no, my teammate over there's got an even better shot, and I want the team to succeed at all costs.
Well, I think that's a big part of your job, is you always have to sell those kids on rolls. And like you said earlier, going from getting a good shot to getting a great shot, I think that's what kids have to recognize, and I think you guys have done a great job of that. Now, as you move forward and we go to Union and we start looking on down the road, who are some of the other teams that you really feel like are going to be formidable foes along the way?
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, obviously, Union, we're not looking past them. That's going to be a tough game, a hard-fought game. On the west side, Putnam City West has had a phenomenal season. They're number 1 in the state. They're very good. Moore was a west side team that got sent east. He's got some good size, speed. It's another team that's, a solid team. But, I think 6A is wide open. We're ranked 17th and very fortunate to be able to win our region. So anybody from 1 through 15 could really come out this year in 6A.
Going into the Frontier Conference this year was new to us.
Yes.
And it was an exciting time, probably a time that you realized that was at times a little daunting. But how much of that schedule has really helped you guys, Rabu, now that you look back?
The biggest thing about the Frontier Conference is there's no nights off. And even the bad teams, and there's no bad teams, but the lower level teams, you think, oh, we can rest, and you can't. So going forward towards a regional or an area or state, you've got to be good every night. And that's really what the Frontier Conference has helped my team with, is every night showing up. The scouting report, who are the shooters, who's going to drive, and kind of building that mindset to pay dividends come playoff time.
Yeah, so you've already seen Union twice this year.
Yes.
So this will be the 3rd time.
Fourth time.
4th time,
Yes.
That's right, because of the tournament. Any changes, anything? I'm not asking to give away your game plan. Any way you're going to maybe do something differently than you've done the last few times you played them?
Well, the fortunate thing now is we're healthier than we've ever been. So we haven't had this. We had one girl with a concussion. One girl just came back off ACL. So we're a little bit deeper than we've been with the first couple of times we played them. And we're going to do what we do. We're going to pick them up. We're going to defend real hard. The big thing about playing Union is we've got to be patient on the offensive end. We want to cause chaos on defense. We want to really be patient and get the shots we want on the offensive end.
And that's probably one of the hardest things of teaching basketball, is when you want a frenetic pace on the defensive end, then all of a sudden when you do get the ball or you turn it over and get it back from your opponent, you have to now say, hey, we got to slow down here and get a good shot. And
yes.
do you find yourself having to battle that sometimes?
I find myself having to battle it, but I tell my girls I want them to play to win, not to lose. So if there's a shot they think they can take or make, we want them to play with that confidence and that swagger, and not thinking, well, does coach want this, or just play the way you've been playing all season long. That'd be good enough.
Well, Rabu, as we get ready to close out here, just briefly tell us about the tradition of the Hornets.
I mean, the biggest thing I've got to say, Annette Kennedy laid such a great foundation at Booker T for so many years. The biggest tradition is they show up early, they work hard, the parents are dedicated, the players are dedicated, showing up at 7 o'clock in the morning in the summertime, do weights to run the track. The pride of the great Southwest is what makes Booker T the best place to be at.
Well, Rabu, once again, congratulations on your regional championship. Appreciate it, and we want to wish you luck here as you move forward on your quest for a state championship.
And thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We'll be joined next on Inside Tulsa Athletics with Carlin Adkism, the head girls basketball coach at Rogers High School. Stay tuned.
Stuff. When you don't want it, what do you do with it? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. There, you'll learn what to do with stuff you don't know what to do with. Just give us a click. TulsaRefuse.org. It's what you do when you don't know what to do with stuff.
Hi, I'm Jason Parker, Athletic Director for Sapulpa Public Schools. The first annual Oklahoma Athletic Directors Conference is a must-attend event for every Oklahoma high school athletic director. Join us June 10th and 11th at the Cox Convention Center in beautiful downtown OKC. The two-day conference will feature breakout sessions covering law, staff development, fundraising, social media, and many other areas that are sure to improve your effectiveness as a key administrator in your district. The OADC will also be a great place to network with key people in our industry and get in the know regarding the latest issues and trends involving Oklahoma education-based athletics programs. Conference registration is now available at oklahomaoiaaa.com, and you can also visit oklahomaoiaaa.com for hotel information and more details about the conference. As a bonus, the first 50 registrants will receive free admission to the Oklahoma City Dodgers game the night of June 10th. So don't wait, make your reservation today, and take your game to the next level as an Oklahoma AD.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and we are joined by Carlin Adkism, the head girls basketball coach at Will Rogers High School. And Carlin, I tell you what, I couldn't be more proud of you personally as a friend of mine and someone I've known a long time. But congratulations on your regional championship on Saturday night.
I appreciate it.
Big wins both nights. Tell us a little bit about the weekend, and then we'll talk about a little bit what to look forward to.
Well, we had a good win against McAllister, a great team, great program, and they came in there and kind of jumped out on us early, and we had to battle back, and we showed some resilience and came back and ended up getting it at the end.
Well, seeing a real resurgence here of Will Rogers basketball. Tell me, and I've seen it, but tell our viewers about how much work you've had to put in to get our program going back in the right direction and what it really means to you.
Well, it means a lot. Just the hard work the girls have just bought into what we've been preaching over the years, and I just had some good groups, some group of kids that just believed in me and believed in the coaching staff and what we were trying to put in them, and just developing a work ethic that's on and off the court, and just trying to be better young women and just trying to head in the right direction.
We were together when the school closed and reopened, and we were part of building that foundation. But it's really nice to see. It's really rewarding to see that all the hard work that you've put in, and really, like you said, all the girls that we've seen come through the program the last 5 and 6 years are really part of this. Don't you feel like that they're part of this?
Yes,
this
of
resurgence.
Course. And it just started back from them. They kind of they started off with just playing hard and like I said, staying in the gym and we always preach being good in the classroom and getting your homework done, listening to your parents at home, and just being a good student athlete.
Well, and not to look too far ahead, but as you've really built the foundation, not only are you guys good this year, but really kind of looking ahead even to next year with so many of your returners. Can you kind of talk to us about what you'll have coming back? And
I will lose one of my starters, which is our leading scorer, LaCara Jordan. She's had a good 4-year run. She was with that group that kind of started it off. She was a freshman in, and I will lose her and 3 other seniors. We still have 4 juniors that's going to step in, and a couple players off the bench that's going to be able to step up and play right away.
Now, back to the immediate future, looking forward to the game that you have this week. Tell us a little bit about what you know. I know you're going to play Coweta, who is coming to the Tournament of Champions next year. We've already gotten a commitment from them. Obviously, they're fresh off a real serious run last year. What are some things you're going to have to do to be successful against them this week?
Well, they're fresh off the state tournament last year. They put together a good run last year in the playoffs. They beat us twice last year. They beat us about 2 points, and then they beat us about 1 point in the tournament. So we have our hands full come Thursday night. But like I said, we're going to put ourselves in a good position to be successful Thursday, and hopefully we can get a good win.
Coming off those 2 close losses to them last year, and then they make that deep run. obviously your girls realize that you're right there. Are there any things you take away from, you don't want to go too far back,
Right.
but you also want to kind of learn from your mistakes, so to speak. Are there any things you're going to take away from those games last year that you feel like can help you this year?
Oh, yes, of course. The first thing being is just, it's a different type of play in the playoffs. It's who wanted more, it's execution, and they just wanted more at the end of the game. We were leading all the way through the 3 quarters, and at the end, it's just that veteran team that came through and ended up beating us. We'll take that from just playing harder, and understanding the intensity of playoff basketball.
So moving forward, if we're fortunate enough to get past the Coweta Tigers and
Right.
their terrific team,
Mm-hmm.
start talking to us then, because now you can start looking ahead a little bit and think about a run to the state championship game or even a state championship, and those are all our goals at the end of the day. But kind of talk to us then about who we're going to run into there, what we might see.
Oh, the other side is deep as well. You have Ardmore down there. You have El Reno that's pretty good, and on the other side, and then MacArthur. So those teams are good all in themselves. And like I said, on our side, we still got to take care of business, and we still got East Central in it, and we still have us as well. And so it's going to be a good, tough run to get the state. And once we're there, it's going to be tough also.
Kind of looking back now on the long season that has just passed, and going through Tulsa Public Schools and going through our Green Country Conference, you feel like you're prepared, you feel like you're ready. Talk to us about the importance of scheduling.
Our conference is tough. You know that as well as I do. Our conference is pretty tough. Like I said, East Central is always in the state tournament. Edison's program is coming up and coming, and we still have McLean and Central and Webster. So these teams is get us prepared. We have good games against them. They know us, we know them. So it's just about who's going to play well that night.
Looking ahead to this Coweta game, are there anything that you really think this is what we're going to do well this week? This is what we have to really hone in on: rebounding, defense. Talk just a little bit about that.
You hit the nail right on the head. Rebounding. No second chances on them boards. We have to get on them, and we just got to play solid defense. As far as helping the helper and just contesting the shots.
Well, Carlin, I tell you what, we wish you the best this week. Really proud of the job that you guys have done, and I know that you're going to go represent Will Rogers well.
Yeah.
And any last words here for Inside Tulsa Athletic fans?
Just please come out and support us Thursday in Scott Took at 6:30.
Carlin, again, thank you. Best wishes and good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. We'll be right back with Inside Tulsa Athletics after this break.
Are you suffering from stuff? Stuff you don't know how to get rid of? Go to TulsaRefuse.org. Learn how to get rid of stuff easily and properly. TulsaRefuse.org. Just give us a click. It's that simple.
Thank you for joining us at Inside Tulsa Athletics. We really appreciate the support, not only of our viewers, but of our fans and our citizens across the city of Tulsa. We really appreciate when you get out and support our teams and support our student athletes, and look forward to another great year of our spring sports with soccer, golf, track and field. And we really are looking forward to a great postseason here as basketball, both boys and girls, is wrapping up, and look forward to seeing you out at any venue that you can come out and support us. Thanks again.